All right, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to my bishops, apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the brothers out there pushing the word, sincerity, and truth, delivering the message to your elect out there to run and raise of salvation. Shalom to your elect, which consists of the men, women, and children, also to the speckled birds, the ones that may not look like your average Negro, Latino, or Native American, but the ones that have the ears of understanding, the ones that's looking to earn their wings of salvation and flee the hour of temptation of the brother Amath. And this video is going to be entitled along the lines of mindset, you know, because on Wednesday, one of the Sharim had spoken about, you know, as far as faith, you know, your mindset on faith. And because as we see prophecy jumping off the pages, what are you planting and what are you watering, you know? Because at this point, we have the 100% truth. It's just that, you know, you have to hang on to this truth. So when your trials and tribulations comes, like the scriptures say, when the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon, you know, the house, it stood strong, roughly paraphrasing, because it was built upon Yahweh Shai, that rock, you know. And the ones that's without, they're gonna fall hard because their mindset is based off this world, right? And us living in this time to where we're living in an information age, and all these Epstein files are coming out, and they're seeing how a lot of these PDF files run our country and how we live in one big psyop, you know, and and nobody's doing nothing about it because there's no protesting, you know, because the elites didn't set it up. You know, people, they're confused, but they still have that pride, that sense of pride of that high, what is it called? They have that haughty look still, which just irks my nerves because, like, back not too long ago, they had the strongest military, this, that, they're the biggest, baddest. People walk around with that, not having any type of combat skills or, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, now you don't stand on nothing. Everything that you believe or you've been taught the past couple hundred years has been a lie. And, you know, and that's gonna break a lot of people when things really start to break loose. You know, when all hell breaks loose, you know, people are not gonna know what to do. They're gonna go to their natural instinct to survive. You know, so a lot of people are gonna be in trouble because they're not gearing up. They're not preparing their minds for this. You know, that's how these people are engineered to be a certain type of way. That's why nobody's protesting, you know. But you know, we're focused on the ones that have the 100% truth, the ones that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is revealing, giving us revelations that he's dealing with us. We're preparing ourselves even more, so we'll be, you know, our calling and you know, we could be a part of the elects, man, by putting forth good works and putting forth that effort. You know, and I was thinking about it before I turned on the camera as I'm looking for the scripture. It's like you won't always be able to have good works, but you can have perfect faith, because the thing about faith is an action word, just like love, you know. And we may not have the best sacrifice, we may not have the best works, but when you do, you know, shine. You know, when you feel good, do good, so you can keep it good, because when you put the good out, the good comes back. You know, a lot of people want to talk about the universe, but the whole time that's your Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You know? So real quick, I'm gonna go to the Hebrews 6:17. I'm gonna start in the NLT and then I'll go to the King James Version. It says, "The Most High also bound himself with an oath, so that those who received the promise could be perfectly sure that he would never change his mind. So the Most High has given both his promise and his oath. These two things are unchangeable because it is impossible for the Most High to lie. Therefore, we who have fled to him for refuge can have great confidence as we hold to the hope that lies before us. This hope is a strong and trustworthy anchor for our souls. It leads us through the curtain into the Most High inner sanctuary, Yahweh Shai has already gone in there for us. He has become our eternal high priest in the order of Melchizedek, and now just getting to the point, that hope, because we're coming to a time that persecution is going to come upon us for knowing this truth, but we have this anchor, this truth. Anything that you've been through, anything that you meditate on, your mindset, right, will be able to keep you grounded. It will be an anchor so you don't wander off into the way of the people that don't believe. It says, the scriptures talk about the man that wandereth out of way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And we do not want to be a part of that, because we know that anguish and pain and agony, disappointment, regretment, it's bad, all bad. And just like how brothers like to bring out the top prophets, how there's way more curses than blessings. So what? To obey is better than sacrifice. We rather just listen and cut things off and just please the Lord, and then suffer that, basically cutting off the flesh. Because like sometimes the spirit will have it to, you want to go do something, you on the way to do something, and the spirit to have you to turn around, and that talks about that in Acts the 16th chapter, when Paul was going to a certain city, but the spirit didn't have it to where, he was, the spirit had it to where he didn't go, and that's going to be among us in these end times, man, for our safety. So let me just get that in the King James Version. This is Hebrews 6:17. And it says, wherein the Most High willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the innumerability, the immutably of his counsel, confirmed it with an oath, that by two innumerable things, unchangeable things, in which it was impossible for the Most High to lie, we might have in strong consolation, who have fled for refuge, to lay hold upon the hope set before us, which hope we have as an anchor for our souls, both sure and steadfast. I forgot what steadfast means. Real quick, I just had to do that. Steadfast, it says stable, fast, firm, sure. So to be firm, to be steadfast, and that's something that what it's trustworthy to put our trust into Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So that's why the Lord, it will make it seem like the Lord will distance you, right? Or you will feel bad and neglected. So the Lord is putting you in that situation so you can gravitate towards Him and lean on Him and trust on Him, and that's how you're able to just like fully let go. That's why Psalms 55:22 that's something that needs to be repeated over and over again, because this flesh likes to hang on to things, and that's not a part of us, because we know we can feel the separation between our flesh, these bodies, and it's the mind versus the spirit, and the spirit wants to please Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai versus the flesh. That's why I indicated earlier in this video that the Lord will want to do some things. We'll be going away or have the mind to go do a particular thing, but then the spirit will have it to totally do 180. Both it says Hebrews 6:19, which hope we have as an anchor of our soul, both sure and steadfast, and which entereth into that within the veil, whether the forerunner is for us entered, even Yahweh Shai made an high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. But the point is that this faith or these things that's been set before us is an anchor of hope. What is that? Dang, I know it's in Romans. Dang, Salakia, man. Talks about let me just try to see if I can grab it real quick. Dang, because it said if it wasn't hope, it said again, hope, believe in hope, when we become fathers. Nah, it said then there's no longer hope. Oh, here we go. This is Romans 8:24. For we are saved by hope, right? So a lot of times, man, you know, these things have to be worked out and stretched, you know, because I think about the science experiment that I seen on Instagram, how they put the rats in some type of liquid and they was basically swimming, and right before they gave up, they saved the rats out of the water, out of the liquid, right? And then they did that experiment again to where they put the rats in the liquid, and they was able to swim like 3 times or basically twice as much because they've been saved. So that's how you know, like, these scriptures and the things in our trials and tribulations is to be a memorial to remind us that Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai will save you. You just have to keep trusting in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Because like I said, this flesh is like it's like weeds, man. If you don't take care of those weeds, they grow fast too. You know, so that's why you constantly have to beat upon those weeds with these scriptures. So you keep them things at base and keep your spirit up, you know? Because that's the only thing that brings you down is that flesh, yo. You know, and Satan knows how to set you up nice and perfectly to where you, right when you're about to enter into the flesh, or even while you're in the midst of the flesh, you know, pleasing and pleasuring yourself. He hems you up, man, right when you're having fun and whatnot. Dang. But yeah, that was one. But I think about this, right? Because like I said, because I talked about being persecuted and things of that nature, right? And we know that we won't be able to glory in ourselves. And through the Spirit, something just telling me is just like, basically, like, even how we speak, you know, we want to tighten that up and give all the glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So real quick, this is Psalms 45:16. It says, instead of thy father shall be thy children, whom thou mayest make princes in all the earth. I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore shall the people praise thee forever and ever. You know, and that's the thing. We want to give the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and exalt that name, that power, because that's the only thing that protects us and guides us through all tribulations and calamities, you know. Even in the midst of teaching, you know, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, because like the scripture says, and hardly do a man knoweth a thing. Real quick. You know, because that's important, man. We, like, and nothing has been given to us but from above. But that's 9. Wisdom of Solomon 9. I'm gonna start at 15. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, right? Because that's the spirit fighting against the flesh. You know, that's the flesh fighting against the spirit, and it's contrary to one another. And the earth tabernacle weigheth down the mind that muzzleth upon many things. And hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth. And with labor do we find the things that are before us, but the things that are in heaven, who have searched out. You know, we only get this information by searching and working towards pleasing Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, putting forth that good effort, and then it comes down from heaven. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I thought upon this about myself, and throughout the scriptures, over and over again, that flesh, man, will get to you. You know, just like how Moses, you know, he didn't make it to the promised land, unfortunately, because he was putting things in his hands. I was thinking about also with the story of Gideon and how basically he kept some men back because then they will think like, oh, we did this, give praise to themselves and cheer themselves and pick themselves up. But that's why through the Spirit, we patiently wait for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and anything that we come across, or it seemed like we got the glory, now we give it to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai because it only comes from heaven. Call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for the gifts. You think, man, how blessed we are from the gifts that we have. The gifts of understanding, the gift of comfort, the gift of just enlightenment. I had the pleasure of talking with brothers throughout the week, and one of them had mentioned, like, sometimes being a bearer of bad news, that could weigh on your spirit. But I was just like immediately, like, nah, bro, that's what we're here for. It sucks. We don't want to be a bearer of bad news. We want to get ahead and lift Israel up, which we are. We exalting Israel, but we got to let them know the bad, the good, and the ugly. And it's messed up. It got to be this way, but it is. And the only thing to do is keep your head down and work towards pleasing Yahweh Bashim Yahushai so you receive your blessings. But we have the blessing of the brother. Brother was he was hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I was like, nah, it's okay, man. That's how you get your coins, man, your spiritual coins, because at least you warned somebody, and now that you warned that person, the blood is off your hands, and that's a blessing. Verses 2, okay, not verses, but adding on 2. Now that you because I think about the one, be about the one. What I'm saying? Just focus on the one. We may not be able to save a whole lot of people, but we could be about the one. And that one person repents and turns back from all their wickedness. The heavens rejoice. And how about that? Because as the heavens rejoice, teaching. The scriptures talk about basically teaching. It's like roughly paraphrasing. Basically teaching your sons, or I think in general, bro. Teaching in general. Grieve the enemy. Call her Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because throughout our days and weeks or whatnot, that it says that he's constantly trying to wear us out, man. And I just got to go back to it, man, because like just how the Epstein files came out, and everybody knows that all of these top politicians and these people that make the laws, and you think about it, right? I was thinking about this just yesterday or 2 days ago, how nobody has no say so when a lot of these laws and statutes are being passed. When they throw out not attention, but basically diversions, they'll throw something out there to get ahead and get the people to look over here while they're doing something over there. The Trojan horse, or whatever you want to call it. Lord's will, you understand what I'm trying to say. A distraction. When he throws the distractions out there, that's what Esau loves to do, man. But where's the say so on these people where we're supposed to be living in a democracy? Democracy to where it's the people say so, but it's clearly not. Man, let me just think real quick. But I don't have to get it, but if you can look this up for yourself, it said 95% of people don't think for themselves. Let me just do it real quick, because I said I wasn't going to do it, but it's going to tie all into like what we're working towards. It's like having a woman, bro. You understand that woman or that thing, that thing has trouble in it, and you can't really do too much but like just be patient and work with it, because being like the scriptures even say, the flesh is never satisfied. You can't satisfy the flesh, so that's why we have to be more restraint than anything. It says resist the devil and he shall flee. So that's why we build up calluses. I'm building mine back up. What I'm saying? I used to have some nice calluses in my hands was nice and rough, and that's what we need to build, man, to build a callus, because a lot of the stuff is going to be coming into is going to bug us, it's going to be bugging us, but like, who cares? Don't let it get to you. And that's a muscle memory, memory muscle. I'm not sure. Salakia. Let me get this though. It says most people. Oh, is it true? Let's ask that. Is it Ooh, that most people don't. As I'm even typing it in, I just thought about some other stuff. Think for you know, because you think about even with women, man, how women are like. That's yeah. This is let me just click this. This is the AI overview. It says, is it true that most people don't think for themselves? It says research suggests that while many people believe they are independent thinkers, human beings are highly influenced by social comforty, cognitive ease, and need of group acceptance. Or you cooked. I hate that word, bro. I'm just gonna be real. oh, we cooked. Like, nah, being cooked all the way, or being cooked is not that bad. Being burnt, that's when you're in trouble, man. When things are cooked, you can still eat that food. It says studies indicate that roughly 95. I don't know if I said it, but 95% of people consider themselves self-aware, yet only 10 to 15 truly possess high level of self-awareness. Bro, sisters, yo, a lot of these people are heavily influenced by what they see on TV. What I was just reading it the other day. Oh man, how the rich man, you know, when he speak, everybody shut up, you know, versus the poor man. But he's a wise poor man. Which fellow is this? If brothers seen the video that I sent, like which fellow is this? You know, it's crazy because I looked it up in the Google, but Google didn't want to show it. But it's all good. We ain't gonna get it. It's kind of already lengthy. But this basically gearing towards our mindset. Like, don't, what the scripture said, because I thought about this too. Don't worry about how the wicked is going to be destroyed, but think about upon how the righteous is going to be delivered. You know, because you have to realize you have a mental capacity. You know, you only have but so much mental strength that you have throughout the day. So why worry about the stuff that you don't have no control of, or or people want to be desperately wicked? That's not a part of us. We want to be ones that's aligned with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's will, so we could be saved. All right, let me see if I can grab some more, because there was some other stuff I read. I said that this is Psalms 22 and 30. A seed shall serve him, and shall be accounted to the Lord for a generation. They shall come and shall declare his righteousness upon a people that shall be born, that he have done this, you know. And then what's that? That Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, these works that are being performed is from heaven. And he's going to have us, you know, perform certain acts. You know, this is Psalms 72 verse 17. His name shall endure forever. His name shall be continued as long as the sun. The men shall be blessed in him. All nations shall call him blessed. You know, and that's the thing, man. I was thinking about this too the other day, how you have a lot of nations that are perplexed, or you know, they're in slavery, man. You know, they don't like it. But at least with us, you're gonna be happy, man. You're gonna be able to have your own stuff. Nobody's gonna tax you wrongly. You know, it's gonna be upon the book. You know, and you're gonna. That's the thing. You're gonna be happy, man. You know, Satan always gotta throw stuff at us, bros. But you know, Satan's about to. No, thank God. But why do y'all watching me? I was shy. It's all good. You know, we're gonna continue on in this. Oh, and I thought about this too, right? Because, you know, constantly trying to keep the flesh at bay. And this is a good scripture for it. It says, because, you know, we'll put things in our hands, you know, thinking we could do this, I could do this, you know, that's why, I was going over Proverbs, and it says, dang it. That's another one I wanted to bring out. Because we don't glory in ourselves, but I know it's 25. Yeah. Because it's not glory to glory in yourself. This is I don't mean to be all over the place. This is Proverbs 25 and 26. A righteous man falleth down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain and a corrupt spring. It is not good to eat much honey, so for men to search their own glory, it is not good. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Well, let me read it again. It says, it is not good to eat much honey, so for men to search their own glory is not glory. Yahweh Shai basically was telling, I think he was talking to the Pharisees, how like basically he's not glorying in himself. I was, dang man, it's like be all over the place. He's not glorying in himself, but he was glorying in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. He was glorying in Yahweh because they kept thinking like, yo, you speaking of yourself. He's like, nah, I'm not. He said, I am from above, you are from beneath, man. Like basically referencing that, like I'm sent from heaven. I'm just keeping my father's words. But Jake couldn't see past that. They couldn't see past the flesh. They couldn't, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's a blessing to even understand it, and it's a blessing to see, or it's satisfying to see, because let me rephrase that, because some Jakes like to nitpick at words. Like, it's satisfying to see at least Israel's waking up, and it's satisfying that like at least Jake is getting it, and you see that the Lord is working through on the planet Earth. I'm gonna just leave it alone. This is his last minute thing because I just had to do something. I didn't want to go another day without putting on something on wax. We'll get this first. I don't know I read that Proverbs. This is 2 Chronicles 20 verse, start at 14. It says, then upon Jezreel, my bad, that's not just Jahaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benadiah, the son of Jaal, the son of Mattithiah, a Levite of the Levite. It says, a Levite of the sons of Aspa, came the Spirit of the Lord in the midst of the congregation, and he said, hearken ye all Judah and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou king of Jehoshaphat, thus saith the Lord unto you, be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours, but Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai's. So we constantly have to do what, I'm going to grab that because I'm thinking about Psalms 55 and 22, because that's something we constantly have to do, is put what is 55? This is Psalms 55 verse 22. It says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He's going to give you understanding. He's going to hold you up. That's another word for sustain. He's going to hold you up. And that's another word, that's synonymous with understanding. It's sustain. He's going to sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. And that's the thing, man. That's how we're going to be able to stand stiffly for Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, because we have understanding, which deals with substance, which deals with, balance. Because there's more to it than balance, but there's so much with understanding that, going back to substance, how we know we can't just give up because there's so much at stake, not just for us, but the ones that believe, because the scriptures in Hebrews, all right, this is the last one because I've seen this on 28 minutes, because there's people that's behind us, we're leaders and things of that nature to a great multitude of people, and how are we going to be examples for them? I think it's 12 and 10. I'm gonna get in the NLT. Like I don't know where it's ended up exactly. Give me Salakia. Hebrews 12. Yeah. This Hebrews 12:12. It says, therefore lift up your hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Let me get that in NLT. The thing about, oh my bad. The thing about it is, the ones that's behind us, because I was talking about the ones that's following our footsteps. This is Hebrews 12:12 in the NLT, and it says, so take a new grip with your tried hands and strengthen your knees. And strengthen your weak knees. Mark out the straight path for your feet, so that those who are weak and lame will not fall but become strong. And that's the thing, man. That's why we gotta stay strong, so the ones that's following our footsteps, or the ones that we're over, could be strong and stay strong. And this always giving it to the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Proverbs 55:22. Proverbs 55:22. Cast the burden upon the Lord. Let go, and then so you can focus on something else. Because the more you hang on to one, like you think, I keep thinking about it. The weight, you got this weight in your hand, and you over here, you picking up all of this stuff. Got this, you got, but you're still holding on to. Let the fucking weight go, so you could, you know what I'm saying? You could move efficiently, so you're not letting things weigh upon your mind, man. I don't think I finished that off in Sirach, but that's a good thing to it's good to go over. And that's just natural, man. To live in this flesh is depressing. That's a curse. And then you got Esau forward in the wickedness. So with that, man, I hope you was edified, motivated in the spirit to seek the Lord 10 times more. I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakwadash. My apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the brothers that are pushing the word in sincerity and truth, and shalom to your elect. Shalom.